Righto, today, instead of putting these on like I was going to, I've decided I'm going to sort this out. I'm going to pull this apart, pull the gears out of it, stick it in the mill and see if I can clean it up, because that looks fucking terrible. Clean up with the mill. And then I've got to weld the end in there. And then I'm going to fix those to the front of the motor, or get them ready to. But I think before I go too far, I'm going to change that, because it's just going to be much easier to do it before I get too much more on there, because it's going to be too friggin' heavy. And it's just fucking annoying me. It's on the piss and it's wobbling all over the place. So I think I'm going to do that before I go too much further with those lifters and the rocker gear and shit. So I was laying in bed last night, and one of my usual fucking lay there wide awake for hours at a time, and I was thinking about what I was going to do today. So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to do that. So stay tuned. Right, now I've got this mounted up. This setup is fraught with all kinds of fucking danger, because that's not even fucking, no, it's clamped on the back. It's fairly solid. So here we go, eh? Leave those out. Yeah, a little bit dubious, but we'll give it a fucking red hot shot, will we? What speed am I going to go? 1,000. Let's see. You know what? Well, wouldn't that suck your balls? It's going to hit the clamp. I might have to use a bigger cutter. Fuck. A bigger cutter's going to be harder to get into here. But either that, or I might put a slot drill in there. Put my big slot drill or my end mill in there, and use the end mill. It'll be easier to manoeuvre. That's what I'll do. Yeah, no, everyone's screaming, copper hammer, copper hammer. I don't have one. That's it. Change all this shit over. Rubber one. Fuck this one first. And you won't be able to see that as Allcock. Sounds like a porn star name, doesn't it? Right, now, I won't be able to run that at a fucking 50 million RPM. See how that works. Plenty. Beautiful. Righto. Got the coolant in. Should have plenty there now if it doesn't overflow completely, and we'll keep going. Now, I'm going to see if I can do the back and work my way down. Let's see if we can manage it without fucking it. There we go. Look at that. That's fucking heaps better. Much more better. Right. This is how far we've got. That's all that gear's welded on. Still a little bit. Oh no, that's okay. It's cooled off. Welded the shaft underneath there. That'll clean up all right. I'm going to clean that up, and once you clear it, you won't see it. Fuel pump, it's welded on at the back. And I had an oil filter here that come off a different car. Well, it wouldn't fit Shane's car, and it doesn't fit that properly. So I've had to strip the threads out of it and push it on. So I'm just going to put a bit of Araldite there, a bit of epoxy, and glue the fucker in. So that's starting to come up now. I think I'm going to go and have some lunch now, get some groceries in my throat, and I think I'll come out then and clean up somewhere to put it and unbolt that base and start doing the new base. So, you know, and if you really need to do your timing, there you go. I'm still in two minds as to whether to put spark plugs in and run leads. I think that might start to make it too busy, but I still might put spark plugs in, just no leads. So, starting to make some decent progress now, and that oil pump looks a heap better since I've machined it. That looked shit house the way it was, so that one was alright. That wasn't hard to cut. And that one was easy to cut. So, yeah, that's what we're up to. Okay, I've got that off. So I'm going to pull that up on the table. And I'm going to try. I'm still reluctant to use just plain fucking pipe. So, might have a look at that cam. I think that cam's going to be sturdy enough, more than sturdy enough to hold that. So, might get that bolted up there and see how we go. Stay tuned, I'll bring you back when I've worked something out. Okay. I've decided I'm going with the camshaft. So what I've done is I've stuck it in the mill and milled that end down flat. I've still got to work out how the fuck I'm going to drill it. I'm going to drill and tap that in the centre to bolt there, like that. And I've machined or milled the flats on the end of that cam and drilled a hole through it. So it'll go in here, hang on a sec. So it'll go in there like that. And if I do that with the railgun, I think that'll hold it tight enough. If not, it's not going to take me much to weld a couple of stoppers on each side to stop it rocking, but I don't think it will. That's a high tensile bolt. I'll do that up FT. We should be right to go. So tomorrow's fun will be drilling the other end of that cam by hand and trying to tap it with that shit fucking tap set that I've got. But we'll persevere and see what we can do. Well, maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to do a bit of work out the back and build a little hidey hole for me trailer for the motorbike. And I might get back into this on Monday. So we're getting there. I think that'll look good with that hanging on that cam there. So, yeah, we'll see how we travel. Righto, I've got the cam back off that stand just so I could try and drill and tap that motherfucker there. Of course, I bolted up through the bottom. I've got me these shit fucking taps. I'm hoping, because that's cast, so I should be able to tap through that okay. Let's see. So I'm hoping to get this bolted up before lunch, hopefully. Depending on how long it takes me to drill that fucking thing out by hand, I'll just step it up. And I've got to get in that slot there somehow. I might get a center drill first, because there's still a little center mark in there. Drill it with a couple of different size center drills, and then start working the drills down it. Just go up a mill or two at a time, because the most important part also is keeping it straight, because otherwise it's going to be trying to pull it at an angle. It should sit flat enough on there. Let's see what happens, eh? And there we have it. That looks pretty fucking good, eh? And it's fairly sturdy. It's got a little rock, but one of those feet, one of those ones on the side there, just need to have a couple of mil taken off. You can see just rocking a little bit. But that's a lot sturdier, and it's not on the piss. Looks like it might have to be tilted forward just a touch, but I don't think that's going to move, so I won't have to weld anything extra in there, so that's good. And that's only done up with a little rattle gun, so I might even put the big one on there and give it a couple of ugga-duggas before I finish with it. So I was going to paint the base before I put it on, but I thought, nah, fuck that, because it's only going to get fucked up. So once I've finished it, I'll somehow get it outside and just tape up the cam, paint the base probably black, clean the rest up, and then clear coat it. Just clear coat the fuck out of everything. So it's getting there. That looks quite good on that, sitting on that cam there. I don't even know what it's out of, to be honest with you. Could be out of that Chev motor, the Chev one I did. because I used the crank out of it and the block, but I don't think I used the cam, so that's probably a Chev cam on a Leyland motor. There you go. Stay tuned. Okay, this is the plan to try and get these fucking lifters and rods in, because they keep sliding off the cam. I already tried earlier and I couldn't work out what I could use to hold them still until they set, and I thought, well, put these fucking cardboard things, that'll the lifters will sit, the rods will sit up against them, stop everything from sliding. So that way I'll be able to put, I've loosened all of the rockers, that way I'll be able to put a little blob of Silastic, and I've got silicon. I was going to use that adhesive, but it's messy, it's a pain in the ass, and sticks out like a bridegroom's boner. So so I thought, if I use translucent silicon, it'll when it dries, I'll be able to trim it a little bit easier, and you won't see it, or you won't see it as easily. So I'm just about to put that on, and then I'll leave that sit overnight, and I should be able to take that cardboard out. And then it'll be time to start cleaning and painting. So I went and got some goodies. Oh, and some black. I ran out of black, so I got some black to do the base, and another can of polyurethane clear, and a couple of tubes of cheap shit silicon. It's all silicon to silicon. It still works. So yeah, so that's how it's going to go from now. So I'm about to see if I can put these in without losing my shit. I should be able to manage it a little bit easier now. It was a bit hard before, because you got to try and hold two of the motherfuckers there with one hand, and then try and do the rockers up so you can hold them down with the other. And it was just fucking impossible. So I'm going to do it this way. So rather than put you in the stand and watch me lose my mind, I'll stick one side in, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, now I've got that side on. They're not tied, just screwed down enough to hold them, because you missed a Class A meltdown there a little while ago, because I had 4 in and I was putting the 5th one in, and I did something or bumped something, and most of them fell out. So I had silicon and lifters everywhere, and me going off like a fucking lunatic. Even one of my neighbours come out to see what the fuck was going on, and realised it's just that lunatic across the road. So now I'm going to do this other side. So that should be all right. I mean, you can see little bits of Silastic here and there, but I'd rather have too much on it now, and when it sets, then I can use a Stanley knife and trim it, and you won't see it. So we're getting there. I'm still trying to catch my breath and settle my nerves down from my meltdown, but that's all part of PTSD, unfortunately. Meltdowns. But anyway, we'll plod along and see how we go. I'll put my music back on and see if I can do this side without fucking it. Come back now. Both sides done. I'm not going to touch them, even breathe on the fucking things till they're set. Just had a second A-class major meltdown for the day. Doing this side. So I had 4 of the fucking things fall out. So, because I was trying to fiddle this cardboard, because it had slipped down, and I couldn't get them to sit up high enough on the cam. So I twisted it a little bit, and plop, bang, crash, tinkle, and yeah, I lost my shit again, and continued to lose it for the following 5 minutes or so. So that's in now. If I don't touch those fucking things, they should be set probably this afternoon sometime. It's quarter past 1. Oh, fuck ups. This Siri. Look. Hey Siri, are you a pain in the ass?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
No, go away.
Okay.
It can be fun sometimes, but sometimes it's a pain in the ass because just bitch pops up when you don't want it to. Alright, so that's that. Now I might stick that oil filter on. I might even use fucking silicone and glue that bastard on there too. And that'll be all but done. All I gotta do then is clean it down, clean it all up fully, and paint it. I've got to get some paint overspray spots off the pistons. I couldn't buy any terps. I wasn't going to pay $30 for a small tin of terps. Not terps, sorry, thinners. So I've got terps. Terps will get it off. I just got to put a little bit more elbow grease into it. And I couldn't get grease and oil and grease remover. So I'll just wipe everything down with terps. Give it a bit of a clean up and then attack it with the clear coat. Should be right. Be ready to go then. I'll paint the bottom. Just wipe the cam down. Clear coat it. I didn't get gloss coat. I got satin clear. So yeah, that's how it is. So we got there. Lots of screaming and carrying on, but it's there. So I might even take this video. Take the last few videos off, go and edit them and upload them, and then I'll do a complete one when it's finished and I've got it all painted and done. So nearly there after a lot of hours. I should have kept track of the hours I put into this thing. There's way too many to count at the moment. So if you know anyone that wants a naked V8 when it's finished, $2,000. And if that's too expensive, tough shit, it'll go into my man cave. Take it easy, people. Peace.